Yo, what is up, guys? It is Birthroad. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about what would happen if these anime were real, right? Like, we're going to look at power systems, we're going to look at events that take place. Now, characters and stuff are not going to move over. So, for example, Naruto's the first one we're talking about. Someone like the Akatsuki coming in is not necessarily going to happen in real life. Like, there are probably going to be villains, but we can't assume that storyline of the Akatsuki and the Uchiha and all that is going to happen. So with that being said, let's get started with Naruto in the world of Chakra. Chakra is my favorite power system because everybody can use it. I think jobs are just going to get done more efficiently. People are going to find a way to use their chakra to do things more efficiently. And then you're going to have people who are going to train on strength. The militaries are going to become a lot more important because they're going to become specialized. You're going to have people in the fire division, the water division, the earth division, right? Like, things are going to become a little bit crazy. And if it is regionalized like it is in Naruto, then most regions are only going to have one type of people, right? And so it'll kind of end up like the countries will stay relatively the same in terms of probably relationships and stuff, but the strength level is going to rise considerably, and everybody will be a lot safer, I think, with Chakra, because you can train defense mechanisms with Chakra. So I think that'll be one thing. Now, some of the events that happen in Naruto that would still be happening is, obviously, if you want to be a ninja, you got to go through the Chunin exam. So the Chunin exams would be happening as well. Those would be pretty fun for most people. I think that's something like I would probably do if I could be specialized like that, because ninja really are specialized. They are part of a military force, but they're specialized as well. So it basically is going to be creating a new branch of military through the Chunin exams. Those are going to be the real ninja, where the rest are going to be used more in a general sense in a military. So I think that'll be pretty cool. I'm trying to think if anything else, like obviously the Akatsuki, we can't assume they'll come back. There's going to be some people born with special powers like the Sharingan and stuff like that. We don't know who those kind of people would be, right? But it would integrate into our society relatively well. It'll just make everybody in general a lot stronger, including militaries, including the average person. It'll make jobs a lot easier, and it adds a new career path as well. So that's pretty much what Naruto would shake out to be. Next, we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which that really changes nothing other than weird events will be happening, except at the end of Stone Ocean. And then, I mean, it's not like we'll remember what happened before. Like, the end of Stone Ocean could have happened IRL. It is possible. It's just, we wouldn't have any recollection of it. So, yeah, nothing would really change other than some weird events would be happening. So, yeah, you would see stuff that'd be unexplained. Like, there's this, the serial killer, Kira, that is explainable. But, like, let's say, like, with Dio, it's like there's somebody sucking blood of people. Like, what? Like, that's kind of weird. But other than that, we just wouldn't know about most of the stuff. And the chances most of us get a stand is little to zero. But I would love one. That'd be cool. Next, we had Black Clover. Black Clover was real if magic was real. I think the world would operate basically like Black Clover does, but a little bit more modern. Like, I don't think all the countries would be as separated and against each other. I don't think there'd be quite as much villainy, because I think there'd be more democracy in most countries. Now, some countries could break out like that. You could see people rising up, like in a place like North Korea or something, right? Like, with a lot of oppression. You could see a lot of rise-ups there. I overall think it would lead to a more balance of power between most countries and things like that. And it'd be cool for everybody to have their own little bit of magic. Again, it creates a new job field as well, specialized jobs. A lot of people are just going to be normal, but there will be some people who can take their talents and become wizards to help people with stuff like that as well. So it's actually pretty similar to Naruto. I think it's going to integrate relatively well, make everybody a little bit stronger, but it's also going to balance a lot of power out in some of those oppressive countries and countries where, things maybe aren't right, like Venezuela, for example. I don't even mean like with the government, but overall they're not the most well-off country. I think magic could help them out a lot, but it also will make things more dangerous. You're gonna have people try things a lot more because they have powers, but I think it balances out eventually. Next, we have One Piece, and for One Piece, the power system, is going to be seen worldwide. People are going to know a lot about Devil Fruits. Now, Haki is going to go under the radar, and unless if you go into the business of being a Marine or you become a criminal and be a pirate, then, you're not going to have these specializations to know what Haki is. The normal person's not going to know what that is. You may know what a Devil Fruit is. You may find a Devil Fruit and maybe be able to eat it, but then you're kind of forced to either go into the that special new division. So it is new jobs, I guess. In the Marines, you can go get a job there, or you pretty much got to become a pirate. You can't be a normal person and be made of ice, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I guess it's going to just create relatively the same thing as like Black Clover and Naruto, but the corruption's going to remain because there are things that are hidden like Haki and the secrets of devil fruits and everything like that, right? So that's something that's, you know, not really known to the public in One Piece. They give enough of the public to where they think, okay, we can trust everybody and things like that, but I think it could lead to more corruption as well, and it's going to lead to a lot more crime for sure, because the people who are going to want it the most are going to be like pirates. So yeah, I think it's going to lead to a lot more crime and corruption, but there will be a new power shift as well. Next, we have Cowboy Bebop. Now, if Cowboy Bebop was real, it'd pretty much just be us in a futuristic society where we can travel through space and go to different planets and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you watch Cowboy Bebop, we would just be placed there. It's not like anything would really change. In terms of, I mean, everything would change, but I mean, from the anime, like, it would just be like if you put yourself in the anime as a background character. That's pretty much what would happen. Next, we have Fullmetal Alchemist. There's a good chance half of us would be dead. That's, you know, just being completely honest. But with Fullmetal Alchemist, if it was brought to the real world, it would create some job opportunities as well. But with alchemy existing, it's going to create a lot of that corruption. Like, people like Sho Tucker, it's not just going to be him. There's going to be a lot of him going around. So I think overall it'd be pretty bad, because it's very powerful enough where you can fuck up a lot of shit, but it's not powerful enough where you can heal a lot of shit. As you saw, the whole plot of the show, what happened to Edward and Alphonse, they tried to fix shit with it, and look what happened to them. It's a very destructive power, and I think it would really ruin our society. Next, we have Bleach. I mean, to the average person, nothing would happen, but there will be lucky few who end up becoming Soul Reapers and stuff, and basically everything would probably that happens in Bleach would transpire in its own version here, but most of us wouldn't know about it, so no big deal. More people would go missing though, I guess, but yeah. Next, we have Beyblade. If Beyblade was real, which it is, but I guess more specifically the Blader's spirit, it would become a job. That's pretty much it. It would just become a sport, I should say, not necessarily a job. It'd become a sport, but yeah, I mean, Beyblade does exist. It's just the Blader's spirit doesn't, so yeah. Next, we have Dragon Ball. If Dragon Ball was real, dude, we'd all die a bunch and come back to life a bunch. It would just be fucking hell. I know they're gonna bring us back, but it's like, I'd be tired of dying, dude. I'm gonna be honest. I could not live like that. Also, as well, you're gonna have global events happening all the time that are just gonna fuck up everybody. It's gonna be like, hey, so the Cell games are going on. He might just come through and suck up everybody that lives in your city. Excuse me? You know, so yeah, it'd be pretty awful if Dragon Ball was real. Obviously, we're going to have people that will save us, that will be strong, but for the most part, it would be awful. It would honestly be terrible. Next, we have Hunter x Hunter. Again, I think I'm going to go mainly on the bad side. Having a job being a hunter, that's not really something you want to have. Now, it's going to start off as probably like a specialized division. Like, you're going to have people like Gon who do just hunt bad guys and stuff like that. But a lot of the hunters are going to be in it for self-gain because, you know, it's kind of hard to get paid as a hunter. Not only that, but you have all the power. So why not extort people? Why not use it to get more money? Why not use it to get more power, right? It's going to lead to a lot more corruption than it is good, because becoming a hunter is not easy. It is definitely not easy, so only the strong can do it, and who's going to stop the strong? Only the other strong, and yeah, it's just going to be taken over by greed, I feel. Next, we have JJK. I mean, hey, if you don't live in Japan, honestly, you'll be good, so... No, I'm just going to assume, like, the power system's coming, obviously not the characters, right? We already talked about that, but with JJK, I think... having cursed energy, I mean, there's very little people in the JJK universe that have it as is. I don't think it's going to affect many people. Again, you're just going to have these global stories that are going on and these incidents that will happen. But as a normal person, your life probably won't change much other than those things going on. Next, we have Mob Psycho. That's just going to be local events, too. That's not even going to be global events. Like, you might have an Esper breakout in your city or whatever, and I don't know. They might need to be stopped. They might not. They might be chill. So, yeah, it's going to be relatively the same. Next, we have One Punch Man, which is basically just making superheroes, and it would just be like I mean, we would just be, it's similar to Cowboy Bebop. We would just be put in One Punch Man. It would be the same thing. The characters would be different because obviously we're gonna have real people doing the stuff, but yeah, they're just gonna have different powers. They're definitely gonna have a ranking going up because if you see real life superheroes, everybody wants to know who's stronger than who. So it's gonna be pretty much the same thing as the One Punch Man anime. Next we have Fire Force. I'm not gonna lie, that would be absolute hell if people just started bursting into flames. But then again, I mean, that is kind of caused by some of the characters, but I guess we still have to take that into account, right? Like, I think that has to stay. Just the certain characters who are doing it are not, because like how else? Because like maybe none of that would have ever happened without the characters. So I don't know. I guess we have to make an exception for Fire Force. People are going to be bursting into flames, and I think everything's going to play out relatively similarly, or we lose and everybody bursts into flames, right? But then we have My Hero. Again, My Hero is going to be the same thing as One Punch Man. Then with Demon Slayer, if Demon Slayer was transported, if we had somebody turning people into demons, it's just going to be the same thing that happens in Demon Slayer, to be honest, just a different story. Then we have Assassination Classroom. Honestly, nobody will even know that this is happening, so normal life for everybody except those kids. All right, we'll move on to Death Note. There's going to be a lot of criminals dying, and then there's going to be noticed there's just a lot of people dying. It's just going to be like a massive anomaly to most people. Most people will not know that somebody was behind it, so yeah, it'll just be like a mass death of people. Fairy Tail, if we all had magic, we all had to join guilds, participate in tournaments and things like that, raise money for our guilds, that would be interesting, honestly. I don't know if it'll go like Fairy Tail, because obviously those characters are just made for the story. But it'd just be interesting to see like all the guilds. It's going to create a lot of jobs, more specializations and things. Of course, certain jobs are going to get easier. Like if you have fire powers, for example, hey dude, we need you to just sit on a train and power it the whole time, you know, like, so some jobs are going to be easier than others is going to be the main thing. You're going to have these guilds pop up as well. You're going to be able to do missions and help people out. I think overall it'd probably be beneficial for society because you're always going to have someone to check you because most people are going to have magic. So it's like, hey, you're using your ice powers for evil, dude. We're going to send the fire guy from our guild to come fuck you up. So, yeah, for the most part, I think Fairy Tail would actually be good addition to the world. You know, we would have a lot more jobs opening. We would have these cool powers that we could get things done more efficiently with. I think overall it'd be pretty cool. Plus dragons exist, which is awesome. Then we have Pokemon, which I think everybody who's ever loved Pokemon has thought about. What would happen if Pokemon was real? If Pokemon was real, that would be freaking awesome. It would basically turn into what the Pokemon anime is. I don't think it'd be much different, but it wouldn't be like the games, because obviously you dominate in the games. In the anime, there are actually a lot of different people that win, so that's kind of how it would be like. We would have different people from all over the place, people going around the world collecting different Pokemon. It would be awesome. I think if Pokemon were real, that would probably be the best thing for society, because you're still going to have bad people, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you have Pokemon there, and Pokemon is going to be such a high job market and everything like that, do you really need to go around robbing banks? Do you really need to go around killing people you have a rough time with when you can just battle them? Like, I don't think crime would be as bad. Corruption would exist, but it wouldn't be as bad, I think, because everybody has a fair shot at correcting things. Next, we have Vinland Saga. I mean, that kind of existed a while ago, so self-explanatory. Sword Art Online, I think a lot of people would do it. It'd be kind of like Ready Player One, except in Ready Player One, obviously, you can leave the headset whenever. Sword Art, you can't. You're kind of trapped there until they beat dude's name. I forgot his name, but yeah, so you'd have a lot of people get trapped in it. They'd want to join this video game. Oh my god, I could feel this video game. It's like I'm going to be in the game. But then they just get trapped there, so it's going to become a global issue as well. People are going to be going in constantly to save their loved ones that went in, and it's going to ruin the world. Everybody is going to be jobless. There will be no money circulating. It'll be fucking terrible and chaos, and so many people are going to die because they want to go play a video game. It would honestly be horrible if this happened. Now, if it was more like Ready Player One, not as bad. Next, we have Death Parade. I mean, that's just a concept of heaven and hell, so yeah, I mean, a lot of people have their thoughts on that already. Next, we have Bungo Stray Dogs. Now, this is going to be, again, most people will not be affected. There will be weird phenomena that happen, and overall, there will be some pretty big incidents, but there's nothing the average person can really do, right? Like, we're just going to have to sit and watch. Some people are going to be, again, Not necessarily detectives. I don't know if it goes into detectives, but people are going to be using their powers for good and evil. Because I'm not going to lie, you put all these in real life, most of the time it's just going to end up becoming superpowers. Like, you put Bungo in, they're not going to think, oh my god, I have these powers, I should become a detective. They're going to think, I'm a superhero. That's going to be the first thought. So everything's just going to become superheroes and villains. Next, we have Attack on Titan. If Attack on Titan was real, dude, I'd probably shoot myself too. Like, some of the characters do in Attack on Titan, because this would be awful. I don't know anybody who would love to be surrounded by Titans and have no hope of doing anything in life. I feel like that'd be awful. So yeah, having Attack on Titan be real would be terrible. Next, we have Mashle. Again, this is magic, but it's more like Harry Potter than anything. So for the most part, this is not going to affect anybody, but the lucky few that it does will have a pretty fun and eventful life. But for the most part, again, nobody's going to be affected. Next, we have Cyberpunk, which is pretty much we're just going to be teleported into the future where everybody can have like customizations on them and stuff. And I think it'd be pretty awful. I don't think it'd be that enjoyable. There's going to be so much of what makes humans gone, which sucks, but I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world other than the corruption, but corruption exists now, so it's like, I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world. Next, we have the God of High School. Again, a bunch of giant events, but the normal person like me and you do, we just have to hope we live. I don't think it'd be as bad as Attack on Titan, but it could be pretty awful because they fuck up the world, I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah, it would not really be great. Next, we have Solo Leveling. Again, this is another awful world to live in. Everybody pretty much has to work in the dungeon. Now, I know there's things like teachers and stuff, and you still got normal jobs, but the majority of people are going to have to work in the dungeons and just sign their life away and most likely die, so it's going to be pretty terrible. Next, we have the Elusive Samurai. It's based off a true story, so we already know what would happen. Next, we have Windbreaker. Again, that shit probably happened somewhere. Next, we have Code Geass. And Code Geass is weird. Like, basically, that's just saying that the Geass would exist, because the story is like, that wouldn't be guaranteed to happen, right? So the Geass existing, we'd have different eye powers in certain people. Most people would never know. I mean, this could literally exist now, and we would have no idea. It's not like the Geass was an outed thing that people knew about, and there was like 5 people that had it. So, yeah, this just would probably not be noticeable to the average person. Next, we have Chainsaw Man. Again, this would be another hell to live in. Just demons running around. You're fearing for your life every single day. And most people don't have powers to help. And the ones that do still get killed quite a lot. So, yeah, this would be awful. Having Chainsaw Man real would be absolutely terrible. I don't think anybody would want that. Next, we have Baki. Now, Baki's just normal people, so you may be saying, like, why am I including this? I'm just doing it for, like, all the tournaments and stuff they host. Like, I know we have martial arts tournaments, but not on the scale of Baki. So we would just have real big, like, world martial arts tournaments, right? Kind of like the UFC, but it'd be a little different. So we just have a new form of martial arts being televised, which would be kind of cool. Next, we have Yu Yu Hakusho. Again, most people will just not notice anything going on. There will be some strange phenomenon that happens, but for the most part, the people that are going to have their powers, they either are going to become a superhero and then be superheroes, and then, like, things like the Dark Tournament won't be mentioned. Like, people won't know about that unless they have the powers. And there's going to be very few people with powers. I mean, it's going to be, like, less than 10. So, yeah, maybe they become superheroes. Maybe they stay in the shadows because they've been informed to by, like, the higher-ups and stuff. So, yeah, I think it would not be noticeable. Next, we have Devil May Cry. I mean, I literally think it would just follow exactly how the anime and games do. I don't really see how it's going to be any different. They're going to try to open hell. Surely somebody here is going to have some powers to be able to help. So, yeah, it's pretty much how it's going to go. Next, we have D. Gray Man. That would also be hell on earth. People just getting turned into weapons. That'd be fucking awful. I'm not going to lie. D. Gray Man would be terrible. There's going to be so many people getting killed. Legends are going to be spread all the time. You don't know who you could trust. It'd be awful. Next, we have Fate Zero. Again, this would be another, like, hellish thing. Because you're just having these godlike people fight each other and create havoc and mayhem all over your city. You don't know what the fuck you can do. You don't know if you're going to be involved in it if you want to be, right? Like, and then you can either, like, there's just so many different options. It would overall be terrible. And then even they're doing all this, destroying all this for this grail that can't even grant certain wishes. Like, it just would be awful. And then for our last two, we have Trigun and To Be Hero X. Just for To Be Hero X, it's going to be the same as My Hero and One Punch Man, pretty much. And then for Trigun, Oh, Trigun's an interesting one. If the Trigun universe was real, a lot of things would suck. I think things would also be peaceful, though, a little bit more peaceful, unless a Vash is coming to your city, because then you know something's getting fucked up. But overall, I think things would be a little more peaceful and simple, but life would be a lot more dull, boring, and a little bit harder. So, yeah, I think that's kind of how it would go with Trigun. You know, none of us would be plants, obviously, so we couldn't do anything. But other than that, I think it'd be pretty cool. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I hope you guys did. Remember, Subathon, December 28th. I hope to see you guys there. I may be live right now. I don't know when this is dropping, but I hope you enjoyed. Peace.